Spending quiet time with God is the most important thing you can do to make your walk with Him stronger and peaceful. In Psalms 42, 1 through 2, it's a gentle reminder that as the deer pants for the water brooks, so my soul pants for you, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? If you're like me, you need some alone time. You need to be alone with God without distraction from the rest of the world. Jesus demonstrates this commitment on several occasions. In Mark 1:35, we read, "Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed." Having alone time in prayer and Bible study is good for spiritual growth, and it helps strengthen your relationship with God. But sometimes you can get easily discouraged, or you may even start to question your Christian walk. Being alone may leave you in a vulnerable position, putting you as an easy target for the enemy, and that is definitely not the path you want to take. So sometimes it's better when we're not walking alone all the time. Sometimes you need others to walk with you through life, because walking alone can be scary, like walking through a dark alley. So it's safer when you have a body of believers walking beside you. In Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 12, it says, "Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. For if either of them falls, the one will lift up his companion. But woe to the one who falls when there's not another one to lift him up. Furthermore, if two lie down together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And if one can overpower him who is alone, two can resist him. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly torn apart." Several years ago, my Christian life was in a rut. I felt so stuck and so defeated and so lonely. I needed help, but I was too proud to seek anyone. God, on the other hand, He knew me better than I knew myself. So through His amazing plan, He placed someone in my path. One of the elders' wives, named Gail, called me up and asked me to meet her for lunch. While enjoying our food, we chatted about our families, our jobs, and the women's ministry at church. What she said next threw me for a loop. She said, "Speaking of the women's ministry, how would you like to help me organize several small group Bible studies? Oh, and you'll also be helping me lead these groups." Wait, what? I can't lead others. I can't even get my own life together. There, I said it. I couldn't hide it anymore. As soon as those words rolled out of my mouth, there was no taking it back. But she just looked at me with no judgment on her face, and she said, "Marianne, it's okay. I've been there too." She understood, because she had dealt with the very same things I was dealing with. So right there in Dairy Queen, we prayed and we cried, and thanks to the Bible app, we dove right in the Word together. Coincidence? No way. God knew exactly who to place in my life, and He knew Gail was so grounded in Scripture and would give me godly wisdom. In Proverbs 19:20, God commands us to listen to counsel and accept discipline, that you may be wise the rest of your days. Also in Proverbs 15:22, it says, "Without consultation, plans are frustrated, but with many counselors, they succeed." Is my life perfect now? Far from it. But I'm no longer afraid to ask for help. And yes, Gail still reaches out to me. It may be several years later, and we may live thousands of miles apart, but she still asks me what she can pray about for me. I now feel like I'm an important part of the body of God. In Ephesians 4:16, it says, "For whom the whole body, being fitted and held together by what every joint supplies, according to the proper working of each individual part, causes the growth of the body for the building up of itself in love." So you may feel like you're strong enough to walk through this life alone. And you may think you're heading down the right path all by yourself with nobody to help you. Sometimes I think Satan wants to tell ourselves that. He wants us to be alone. And he wants to steer us far away from God's safety net. And we cannot allow that to happen. God knows we need his love and his protection. And only he knows we need other people in our life to help us grow into the person that he made us to be.